Happy Thanksgiving! First off, I want to thank you all so dearly for over 500 subscribers. And I thought it'd be fitting to have the special on the season of thanks, because I'm just so incredibly grateful for all you guys' support throughout the years. From my edits to my stop motions, my shit posts, and more ambitious projects. Having this much support for not just what I love, but also myself and from you guys was a dream that I always doubted could be achieved. But now here I am. I know 558 is not the biggest number in the grand scheme of things, but it is to me. I've met so many great people, discovered my love for stop motion, and experiment with editing and animation. This has been one hell of a journey, really, and I enjoyed it very much. Thank you all for over 500 subscribers. Now, it's time for me to answer some questions. First, B Cookies asks, why did you choose Wat Tambor to be your OC? Because he's my favorite character in all of fiction. Why he's my favorite will be answered soon. Widow Plushie6925 asks, who's your favorite singer? That is an interesting question, because I don't really have a definitive answer. But I can tell you my favorite song, which is The Saga Begins by Weird Al Yankovic. But I do also want to give mention to Jessica Keenan Lynn, who, if you don't know, played Heather Chandler in Heather's the Musical. And in the song Candy Store, she hits some phenomenal notes and makes the song even better than it already was. Here are some audio samples. I don't care if they get copyrighted, this video isn't getting monetized anyway.
If you like the balls, you can go play dolls in my Porsche with the quarterback. Let's go tear up someone's lawn at Candy Store.
So, I guess you could call Jessica Keenan Lynn my favorite singer, I suppose. Also, the theme Mammoths in the Ice Age 2 score goes incredibly hard. Just wanted to point that out. Bashbrick Films asks, what inspired you to become a YouTuber? Well, like most kids my age, it was mainly because money. But now the thing that really drives me to do this is mainly just because it's something I'm good at, and I enjoy it for the most part. And it also gives me the opportunity to interact with some of my favorite creators. Luann the Orb asks, when is the heat death of the universe?
A good question. For another time.
John 2x4 asks, who is Spunglesbob? Spunglesbob is one of the two overarching antagonists alongside Mr. Krabs of the fan webcomic The Bikini Bottom Horror. 709 asks, what are you hiding? Okay, you got me. You want to see what I'm hiding? Let me show you. These are my secret battle plans to infiltrate Glitch Productions and hold Liam Vicker hostage until he canonizes Envy.
For legal reasons, that's a joke.
Master Isabel asks, what's the process of making your LN videos? So basically what I do is, because I don't have my stop motion equipment, I'm using these substitutes. First, get all the figures I need, mostly mono and 6, and decide which video to remake. I would have my computer next to me with the video, and I'd use the Stop Motion Studios app on my phone. Then I would pay attention to the time before animating the figures. Sometimes I would keep notes next to me with how many frames I need to take. It's not the most efficient way, and there are 1,000 better ones, but it helped me. Dr. Vindy Enjoyer asks, do you like Dr. Vindy?
Yes.
Yes, I do. Vindy Enjoyer also asked, how did you become a Wat Tambor enjoyer? I'm glad you asked. So I was scrolling through YouTube one day, and I was recommended a video called The Bad Batch Arc, but it's only the Wat Tambor scenes. This was my first real proper introduction to Wat Tambor, and I don't know, he just kind of clicked with me. I loved his voice and his design and how he resembled Emperor Zurg, and I actually grew to appreciate Star Wars lore a lot more because of him, and it all stemmed from one video. How much worse would your life be if you never discovered Wat Tambor? You know, sometimes I lay in bed, sitting there, contemplating such. What if I never found Wat Tambor? What if Dan Grievous had never made that YouTube video? It honestly kind of amazes me how one simple video changed the trajectory of my life forever. To such an extent, too. Sorry for getting so existential. Here's my theory on what would happen if I never discovered Wat Tambor. I would just straight up fucking die. General Clown asks, what do you think about Shin Godzilla? I want to kick Godzilla's shins. Neat Movies asks, what job career would you want to pursue? I'm not entirely sure. I don't know if I can do this YouTube thing full time. Definitely not. So I would hope to find some work animating with stop motion for a studio or something. Maybe even editing or voice acting. Who knows? Sorry, I don't have a truly definitive answer. Let's move on. Rosalina an Edge fan asks, how old are you? So take sin pi over 2 plus cos pi over 4 minus tan pi over 6 to the power of 3 star squirt 2 over 2, and the final answer should be my age. Rosalina an Edge fan also asked, why do you like Daphne? Because her design is genuinely one of the best I've seen for any character. I think I even like her design more than Wat Tambor's, actually. She's like a mix of Poison Ivy and Dr. Octopus, two of my favorite supervillains combined as a rabbit. I also just like her sadistic personality, exemplified by how she is the only one that's actually shown hunting sparks, which is pretty important for a spark hunter, and her showing no concern for Midnight and Bedrock. In fact, I like to think that she only saved Bedrock just so she could see Cursa punish her and the furry bait. Yeah, overall, Daphne is awesome. Also, she's really hot. Spider-Ham, or Scrather, asks, have you ever cosplayed as Wat Tambor? I did, actually. Well, I tried. So on Halloween in 2021, my school let us dress up for the day, and I wanted to make a Wat Tambor costume. Only problem was, I didn't have enough cardboard or shiny tape. So what I did was, since this was during the time when we were required to wear masks, I just covered my mask with silver tape, and taped strings from my mask to my chest, and I felt like Wat Tambor. I looked nothing like him. I was still wearing my school clothes, and the mask didn't even look that great. In fact, my teacher mistook me for a Mad Max character, and it was super fucking hard to breathe in that thing. But it was still fun. Snow TST asks, who/what inspired you to make YouTube videos? That's a really good question. I think it can, like, from the very start, I think the thing that really inspired me to start making videos in the first place was Super Mario Logan, actually. I don't know, something about the videos. It was always really fun to watch. Yeah. But as of right now, I still have a lot of inspirations to, like, keep me going when it comes to making videos. I can't name one specific one, but I can name a few, like Shay Frillis Productions. He's really awesome. He's the one that's inspiring me to make analysis videos, and I still plan to make a Hilda one, don't worry. There's also Guillermo del Toro, the creator of my favorite film, and Luke Pearson, the creator of my favorite show. So, yeah, those are just a few. Luminous3174 asks, are there any scenes of Wat Tambor that you missed? God, I would hope not. That would be really embarrassing. But the only appearances I missed of him were the ones in the comics and the books. In fact, just as a side note, for next year's May 4th, I was thinking about doing the Wat Tambor video again, but I also include the comics and do a dub over them with my Wat Tambor impression. Let me know if that's something you want to see. Luminous also asked, will you make a video on Wat Tambor's native language, Skako-Verbal? Probably not, sorry. Just because not much is shown about their language aside from it sounding like warbling, and there may be more qualified lore masters out there to talk about it. But something interesting I learned while researching Skako-Verbal is that the language was apparently used in the sequel trilogy during episode 7 on Jakku by some background character named Hobbin Karsamba. It's hard to hear, but he was apparently making the same warbling noises as Wat Tambor did in Attack of the Clones. And this was a conscious decision made by the legendary sound designer and the voice of Wat Tambor himself, Matthew Wood. He noticed the resemblances the characters had and decided to have Hobbin speak the actual Skako-Verbal language. This essentially confirms that there was indeed a Skakoan in the sequel trilogy. That's actually pretty cool. I mean, yeah, it does kind of break the lore because Skakoans are known to be very isolated and would rarely ever travel off their planet, and let alone to a backwater like Jakku. But I like Skakoans, so I'll allow it. Okay, next question. Varying Enthusiast 69 asks, what is your favorite meme of this year? I'd have to say the I live in a low-income housing environment one. I don't know, it's funny. So much so that I made my own version with Hilda.
I live in a low-income housing environment that goes by the government name of Section 8. Me and a group of my allies control certain areas of this section in order to run our illegitimate business. We possess unregistered firearms, stolen vehicles, mind-altering inhibitors, and only use cash for financial purchases. If anyone would like to settle unfinished altercations, I will be more than happy to release my address. I would like to warn you, I am a very dangerous person, and I regularly disobey the law.
Alari asks, can you do a backflip? That's a good question. It's been a while since I've tried, but let's do it again. So, yeah. That was all the things you wanted to know about me. Thank you all again for over 500 subscribers, and we're already close to 600. It's kind of unbelievable, but I couldn't be more thankful for this. Happy holidays, everyone. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go back in time to the first Thanksgiving to get turkey.